Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the right spot. Week 1, fastly approaching. We are close to game time action. What time is it? Time for the draft. Oh wait, the draft's already completed. You got your lineup set. Now, running back rankings are going to be very important. Quarterback, wide receiver, we're going to be having weekly rankings of every single position if you guys show the support. Smash the like and subscribe button. Today, we go through the top 35 running backs for week 1 specifically. We've had rankings, we've had videos, best sleepers, blah, blah, get these running backs late in your draft. If you draft these guys as a trap, listen, you either already took the bait or you pulled in the shark and now he's about to be in your lineup week 1. So if you have start-sit questions, we'll have start-sit question videos. Today we're going through these 35 guys. We're going to talk about stats, past performance against specific teams, and we're going to go through one by one, tier list every running back. Please show some support. Name one. Bijan, Jahmyr, Gibbs, Saquon. Which one's number 1? It's going to be Saquon Barkley. Listen, maybe it's just I'm uber excited for Thursday Night Football. Maybe it's like recency bias, but you want to get to football faster. But really, it's because of what Saquon Barkley did last time he faced the Dallas Cowboys. We'll go to the website, Mr. Saquon Barkley. Let's take a look. Now, this is Flock Fantasy, free website. Highly suggest you check it out. Now, look at that, 2024. Saquon Barkley, week 17. How many yards? 167 rushing yards. Dropped on the Dallas Cowboys' head. And guess what? No Micah Parsons. He's on the Packers. This is not going to be pretty. This is not going to be pretty. Eagles by 40. Saquon Barkley is my number 1 running back in S tier. Now, number 2 is actually going to be Bijan Robinson. So, kind of a cookie cutter start, but Bijan Robinson, listen, he has all the momentum heading into this year. Now, Bijan Robinson against the Buccaneers, his first game in 2024, was actually not that impressive. But the second game is where he kind of made his money. So, game 1, week 5, only 10.7 PPR points. Not impressive, no touchdowns. Then you head to week 8, the barn burner. Plays only 68% of the snaps. Now, granted, by the end of the year, he was at 80 plus. So 24 points in that game. And he was pretty effective too. So I think that Bijan Robinson could have another 20 plus point day, especially if Mooney is banged up or limited in any capability. You have a young, I'm calling him a rookie. You have a young Michael Penix. They're going to be running the football. They're going to be relying on Bijan for sure. I like him a lot. Him and Saquon, 1A, 1B. Now, 1C, and I wouldn't even call it 1C. I'm going to call it number 2, is Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs, you had a case. You had a case for 1C, and then Micah Parsons got traded. New offensive coordinator. Scary. But it could be scary good, because the reports are that Jahmyr Gibbs is actually taking on a decent portion of the workload compared to Monty. The report out of training camp was that it was about 2/3, 1/3, which is a pretty decent snap share. If we look at Jahmyr Gibbs and what his 2024 season was like, we're seeing 50% snap shares, 40% snap shares, 50%. Monty's out, 74%. Look at the points when Monty was out. When he was around 2/3 of the snaps, he played 2/3 of the snap the final week against Minnesota, and he dropped 46 points. If Jahmyr Gibbs and this new offensive coordinator click, and he's actually able to show what he's got for 60+% of the snaps on the field, which he should, even though they just signed Montgomery to a big contract. Maybe Montgomery's a pest at the goal line for sure. We know that. Definitely knocks him down a little bit. This is going to be fun and exciting to see what Jahmyr Gibbs does. Now, it is worth noting 19 points against Green Bay in week 14 and 14.6 in week 9. Both of those are still respectable, even if they're not his highest scoring games of the year. So Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be just A-okay. The next guy on the tier list, we're in A tier. These guys are not going to be in S tier anymore. And this is where things are not cookie cutter. You're here for the rankings. You're here for the best advice. I'm here to tell you this is a good week for Mr. Chase Brown. The Bengals offense is dog. The Bengals offense is dog is what you would say if you were opposite day. The defense sucks. The Bengals defense sucks. I get it. Trey Anderson's back. I get it. The offense is so good that they're going to have to be putting up points somehow, some way. Now, if you look at Chase Brown, start scrolling down the rankings because he's not even going to be, look at him, he's like RB number 9. Listen, the second half of the year, he played all of the snaps, 90+% snap share. And the receiving usage was very, very encouraging. That's what I like seeing. Positive news out of camp, positive usage in the preseason, and he averaged 20+ points down the stretch. Chase Brown is going to absolutely crush week 1. They are playing the Cleveland Browns. Again, he dropped 14 in Week 16, and in Week 7, he wasn't even the starting running back, so don't look at that. But when he had 98% of the snaps, 14 points right there, but the receiving usage was very, very limited, only 3 receptions on 18 yards. I think that could be up, and I think his effectiveness, this was without a touchdown, guys. He dropped 14 points, no touchdown, limited receiving usage. The Bengals are going to start out this year hot for the first time in the last 4 or 5 years, and the Cleveland Browns will fall. Chase Brown, top of A tier, got to plant the flag at some point. Next name up is going to be CMC. So a lot of people probably thought CMC should be higher. I have CMC here. They're playing the Seattle Seahawks. Listen, when CMC's healthy, good things happen. Now, there's a 60% chance you drafted a league loser and a 40% chance you drafted a league winner. There's also a 5% chance, I know we're over 100, that you're going to bust. There's a chance that McCaffrey is just mid. Now, that's a small chance, but he is old, worth mentioning. But CMC, no surprise, is an A tier. Jonathan Taylor up next. Now, the Colts, who do the Colts play? The Colts play Miami. I don't know why the Colts are favored in this game, but I honestly think the Dolphins have a chance on the road to come into Indy and get the win. Now, Daniel Jones is the QB. That should help this Colts offense. And pretty much every single carry is going to go through JT to start this year. So the volume is very exciting. Receiving usage has me a bit concerned. Another guy in A tier is Devon Achane. Devon Achane I probably would have had at the top of A tier, but you have the calf injury that just has me. Ollie Gordon. Where's Ollie Gordon at, right? You know what I'm saying? So that has me a bit concerned for Mr. Achane. Now we got 4 more names in A tier. We're going Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving comes in and listen, he plays the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta, first game, don't look at it. Let's go to the next game. Please tell me he did something. 15 points in week 8. Snap percentage, 44%. What scares me about Bucky is you don't really see his snap percentage going to where you want it to be at the second half of last year, like 57, 43, 54. Rachaad White was still heavily involved, which has me very, very concerned. Now, considering the receiving situation in Tampa Bay, Bucky Irving might be wide receiver 3, and Rachaad White might be RB1, which could help both of their usages out. I'm not even kidding, right? Like, he was getting 4 or 5 targets a game in the last 3 weeks. That could be 5 targets come week 1. So Bucky Irving, solid running back play. All these guys in C tier and higher, you're starting every single week. Ashton Jeanty comes in at A tier as a rookie. Now, the Raiders, who do the Raiders play? The Raiders play the Patriots in New England. Bit of a scary game, but it's a new-look Raiders offense, and Ashton Jeanty's going to control it. Raheem Mostert's the backup. So I'm confident in putting Jeanty where he is. Derrick Henry, Sunday Night Football at Buffalo versus the Bills. A bit scary, but this guy scores touchdowns. Simple enough. Now, I was considering putting Jacobs in B tier, but it wasn't worth the comments I was going to get. They have Parsons. Maybe they're going to be leading in that game. Now, scary thing here is I've actually, in the week 1 predictions, which it's actually on the other channel, True Business Review, in my NFL week 1 predictions, I had the Packers losing at home to the Lions. They trade for Parsons. They watched the video. They trade for Parsons as a result of my prediction. And that might change things. I'm not going to lie. Home field advantage. Parsons is there. New OC on the Lions. A bit scary. But Jacobs should have heavy usage. Let's pull him up. Let's see what Jacobs did in 2024 versus the Detroit Lions. Versus Detroit, they play him twice a year. 12.8, trash, 25. Now, granted, was the Lions defense already, a zombie case, injury prone by that point? Potentially. Now we had the B tier. No more A tier. We had the B tier. And it's only 2 names. Name number 1 is going to be Kyren Williams. It's scary. Is Stafford okay? Is Matthew Stafford alive? They play the Texans, so decent looking matchup for Kyren. Another name in B tier, and this one might be a bit high, but the gap between Kyren and this player is a bit big, but you only had B tier. Come on, fill it up. Kamara, Alvin Kamara. Spencer Rattler, QB1. The Saints play the Cardinals. The Saints are going to get smacked around by the Cardinals. Just mark my words. They'll be playing from behind, and when they're playing from behind here, Kamara, who the first half of last year, 9 targets, 8 targets, 8 targets, 7 targets, 11. PPR machine. If you're not in a PPR format, bump Kamara down the rankings, but they will be trailing, and they'll be playing catch-up, so Kamara should be A-okay. Heading to C tier. We go to James Cook. Now, James Cook, we already talked about it. Sunday Night Football, big matchup versus the Ravens. Don't love the matchup, a bit scared of it. You kind of need James Cook to score a touchdown. But the touchdown rate, he had a touchdown every single game last year. That was his stat. 1 touchdown per game average for James Cook. Can he score on Sunday Night Football in a huge Buffalo Bill matchup? I think he might. Chuba Hubbard. A lot of team names are called Chuba the Hutt. I'm liking those team names. They play the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, that is an intriguing looking matchup. You got the Panthers, terrible team. I get it. Oh, they're improving. Versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, versus the Jags last season, they didn't play. They did not play Jacksonville last season, unless I'm hallucinating. All right, yeah, so we don't have many stats on that, but Chuba Hubbard did drop 33 week 18, or week 16, that says. I mean, yeah, Chuba Hubbard definitely is a name that picked up some traction when Bryce Young was actually learning how to play quarterback. So he's going to be a solid start in week 1. James Conner's the next name. James Conner. Listen, people are way too high on Trey Benson for some unknown reason. I get it. James Conner usually isn't healthy. He stayed healthy last year, guys. James Conner just signed a 2-year extension, I believe. He's coming off of a pretty solid stretch of 3 games prior to week 17 where he put up 20-plus fantasy points. James Conner versus the Saints. That Cardinals can control the game script and ground and pound. They might put in Trey Benson just for, giggles. They might just do that. But James Conner is the next name. Now, where is this guy? Here he is. Filling out C tier. A couple more names to go here. We got Amarion Hampton. Amarion Hampton versus the Chiefs. Don't love the matchup. Don't love the fact that Najee's going to be back. Don't love the fact that it's a rookie. All that said, I still think he's a solid start. Just don't be surprised if he drops 8 points. Similar story. Back-to-back rookies. Travion Henderson. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Now, they have a better matchup versus the Raiders, but there's a pest. There is a pest alert. Where is he? I don't see him. He's on here somewhere. Ramondre Stevenson. There he is. I don't even know where I'm going to put him. But Ramondre Stevenson is a pest, and it has me bumping Travion down the week 1 rankings. End of season rankings, I think Travion's going to be a bit higher. Tony Pollard comes in next. The Titans have a tough matchup, man. They're playing at Denver. High altitude. Rookie quarterback. First matchup. Broncos defense. I hate it. But Tyjae Spears is, out. So Pollard should get a lot of volume here, which is why I think he's still a good start. Kenneth Walker III, I don't know why. For some reason, I am fading Kenneth Walker III versus the 49ers. He's going to be my final name right here in C tier. Let's see, what did Kenneth Walker do for San Fran last year? 21 and 13.9. Now, he did have a touchdown in both of those games. So if there's regression, then it's basically 7 points and 13 points. I don't know. Something about Seattle, Kenneth Walker, in theory, should be better in the first half of the year when he's healthy. If he's healthy, he's good. Something about Charbonnet, man, just has me a bit scared about how they're going to do the splits. And until I see what his workload's like early on, is it a 70-30 split? Is it a 50-50 split? I'm going to have him, in C tier with other guys, but at the bottom of it for now. D tier, and this one hurts, it's Breece Hall. Jets, Steelers, bad matchup, great defense. Can you trust Justin Fields to even dump it down to Breece? Probably. I think he's still a good start. Isaiah Pacheco, probably one of my more drafted running backs. One of the most underrated running backs. Chargers, tough matchup. Brazil, Viva la Brazil. Is that Mexico? Cooked. But Isaiah Pacheco, I still think, is a good start. You got David Montgomery. This is scary. You already have one of the Lions running backs in S tier, new offense coordinator. Maybe this is high for Montgomery, but I think he's going to get goal line carries. It's similar to James Cook, where you're hoping for a Monty touchdown or you are toast. DeAndre Swift, the Bears offense just didn't look good. They play the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe J.J. McCarthy gets a couple turnovers. Rookie quarterback, Monday Night Football. It's in Chicago. I can see Swift having 12-point game right here. He's got a pretty high floor, which is why he is somebody that can be started. When Aaron Jones is healthy, Aaron Jones did just have a 1,500-yard season, so Aaron Jones should be somebody that plays, and he plays against Chicago. I actually like the matchup here for Aaron Jones. I think he could get some dump downs. Now, what's the Jordan Mason usage going to be like? Another thing to consider. Javonte Williams, also somebody D tier is where it's I'm not super excited to start the bottom half of D tier, but the top half you probably can get away with starting. Javonte Williams, projectable volume. Jadon Blue, I get it. You know, I'm so excited. Miles Sanders, Sanders, not great. Jadon Blue, hurt. Javonte's going to have a lot of work, maybe even in the receiving game, because they will be playing from behind, and they're playing one of the best defensive lines, one of the best defenses. Jaylen Warren is somebody you can firmly start with pretty decent confidence. I mean, he is the starter. Caleb Johnson didn't have a great training camp from my eyes, and from the news I was seeing with him and Aaron Rodgers, not really that surprising. Jaylen Warren's a sneaky week 1 start against the Jets. You have RJ Harvey coming in. I mean, where's J.K. Dobbins? I don't know. J.K. Dobbins isn't even on this list of players. I can just tell you guys, if I had J.K. Dobbins on here, I'd probably put him in E tier, but, you know, oh well. RJ Harvey, scary because of he's not the starter. He's not the starter. He's gonna have to prove himself. I don't really like starting him, even though he is in D tier. We got Travis Etienne, similar story. Too many mouths to feed. Decent matchup in week 1. You probably can start him, but his floor is like 5 points. Honestly, I think his real floor, like I'd expect at least 7.5. Ceiling, his ceiling's probably like not great because they are going to feed Bigsby. They might even get Bashal Tuna involved and LaQuint Allen on 3rd downs. So ETN, it's kind of like a wait and see. Tyrone Tracy, honestly, I'm going to put him ahead of RJ Harvey here. Tyrone Tracy projected to have some volume. You have Scatabo banged up. Are they going to trust Scatabo? If Tracy fumbles once this season, though, just keep in mind his career is over. So keep that in mind as always. Heading into E tier, I'm going to rank Jordan Mason. Let's see what his goal line usage is for Minnesota against the Bears. I'm going to put the pest, who honestly, this guy might be the RB1 in Seattle. I'm going to put Charbonnet here in E tier. You don't want to start him, but like, what if he gets 50% of the snaps? He might actually do something with them. Then you got Caleb Johnson. I'll put Caleb Johnson in there at E tier again. He will be getting touches, but he won't be getting receptions. When I'm recording this, we don't have any news about Judkins signing. So, I mean, really, I can't really do much with that. I mean, I'm not going to put... Now, I'm just going to go ahead and just put these guys where I think they belong. Yep. I'll put him in F tier. Definitely F tier. You know what? Austin Eckler might be a sneaky play. I almost forgot about him. I'm going to put Eckler, actually, right behind Tyrone Tracy, because I know you're saying, where is JCM? Listen, JCM is not on this list. I'm sorry. But I'm not on this list to be ranked. I'll still rank him for you boys. JCM should be in the bottom of E tier behind Caleb Johnson. It's harsh. It's a 7th round. I'm taking Eckler. I'm taking Eckler over JCM all day for the week 1 start. Let's pretend Jalen Wright was Ollie Gordon. I would put Ollie Gordon probably up at the top middle of F tier, to be honest. If that was Ollie Gordon. Mixon, yep, you choked. Judkins, if Judkins plays, it's a whole different story. Najee stinks. Ray Davis, not going to be relevant. Ramondre, honestly, you lost your draft, but he can be F tier for this video. You lost with him. Or Rashad White there. B-Rob, he's not terrible. And then Ollie Gordon would probably be somewhere around here. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The week 1 running back rankings, breaking down the matchups, all that good stuff. Hopefully, you have at least 2 guys from D tier or higher. The top half of D tier preferably. Let me know what you think. Comment down below any starts or questions. Smash the like and subscribe button. Every single week I'll do this for every single position. If you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching.